I don't normally do this sort of thing because I'm working on cameras all the time, but this one I was pretty proud of. So I wanted to share. So this is a movement from a Mitchell VistaVision camera, mid 50s, somewhere around, I don't know, maybe 1955 or so. And it was an important camera that we had here in storage, but it was in parts in that the movement at one time had been pulled and heavily modified for use with a more modern adapted camera, probably a freeze butterfly camera. And the main shaft that motivates the pull down claw and registration pin and all this stuff had been heavily modified. So here was the shaft that was in the camera. This is a main shaft from another much later serial number camera. So this is the stock shaft. And this is what this shaft had been modified to. And it was modified for the purpose of like a freeze VistaVision camera or something like that. But anyway, in the process of this modification that had been done, this drive shaft had been removed. You can see how it had been shortened. This thread had been moved up. And with this drive shaft removed, this movement could no longer work in its original Mitchell camera body. So it couldn't drive the movement because this is what was driving the movement. So anyway, so in needing to restore this movement, I had to take this shaft, which was out of a much newer serial number camera that we didn't want to destroy, and reverse engineer it. So I had to take it into our machine shop with our very simple old manual machines and gauges and so on and so forth, and figure out the exact dimensions of all this thing, the exact offsets from the axis of this center shaft to this lobe and this lobe here that then drive the pull down claw and the registration pin. And in doing that, as accurate as I could get it, I still didn't know that I was dead on from the factory because these things were made on manual machines, back before I was born in the mid 50s. But still, these guys that were doing this stuff were just amazing mechanics. So in doing this, in reverse engineering this, the concern is that if I got it just a hair off, the pitch, the relationship between the pull down claw and the registration pin might not be correct. Or if I got this lobe or this lobe, mainly this lobe here, too far off of where it needed to be from axis to axis, that where it left off the film and where it picked up the film at the top of the stroke would be too far off and would damage perfs. But here's where I'm at. This is a Kodak test film. So this is a steel film, super accurate. It never shrinks with age. And I nailed it. I absolutely nailed it. So here it's the registration pins are holding the film. The pull down claw enters, no picking, pulls down to the next frame, picks up the film, claws enter. It just absolutely perfect. And I couldn't be happier. So this is, what you get when you work on crap for 40 plus years. I guess you get decent at it, right? The other thing I had to replicate for this movement was the pressure pad. So here's the one that I reverse engineered. I had manufactured. You guys did an absolutely beautiful job on it. Beautiful job. Here was the original from a much later serial number camera that I replicated from. So I took all the dimensions off of this thing and we replicated it. So now this movement, which is going back in its original Mitchell VistaVision camera body, will be complete and operable and be in its 1950 something glory. So there you go. It's a beautiful thing. you know, we got to visit the guys from the Mitchell factory from 1955, and I did get to witness the drawing for this shaft, which somebody, an enthusiast out there, provided. Found the original blueprint from Mitchell that was drawn up in 1953, the original print for this thing. And in my calculations, what I was able to discover on the manual equipment in our machine shop and manual gauges is that I was only from the original drawing for Mitchell, I was off, 1/100th, 2/100ths of a millimeter from the original design. So yeah, pretty thrilled. Like I said, I know it's a weird thing, it's just a movement, but Mitchell VistaVision, man, look at that. Just a beautiful, beautiful thing.